Hey, what is up, people? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How are you doing? Hoping you're having a wonderful day. I am late by 1 hour, okay? For information, I already said this in Discord, okay? I went over to a neighbor's for hot pot, right? And they had a daughter, and then we had hot pot, and I played with the daughter, okay? I mean, when they play with the daughter, she's like 2 years old. So I did a bit of, you know, looking after a kid, and then eating a hot pot kind of thing, and so that's why I'm late. Okay, I'm looking through Discord chat. I don't see much. Yo, I've got a meme. I've got a peak meme. This is a peak meme. You ready? I didn't realize this happened a year ago, but this is it. Walks forward menacingly. God damn! Thailand JoJo, man. These JoJo fans. This apparently was a cosplay competition in Thailand Game Show 2023. Look at how much effort they put into this shit, man. Choreography is absolute peak JoJo. Anything else? There's a you know, there's a $3,000 phone. Yep, it's the Xiaomi, I think it's $3,000 tri-folding phone, and this whole video is just him taking the phone apart, like putting sand in the hinges, putting a different knife to it to test how durable it is. Just looking at it hurts me feelings. And then yeah, it's just Saga addicts, really. Anything else? Oh, I wanted to buy this. So I saw a display, right, and they're selling One Piece Wanted posters, and then I was like, wouldn't it be cool if you had all like 10 of them together, you know? And then I realized that, you know, God Usopp is here. There's one of that. And then I realized that Brook was missing. And I was like, it kind of shit to not have Brook. But the important thing is this on the bottom right. What is this shit? Is this the live action goddamn Wanted posters? Holy shit, they look so bad. I wouldn't want one of these on my wall, even if you paid me to do it. Jesus. But otherwise, I got nothing, chat. I got nothing. Oh no, Steins Gate reboot, right? This. Steins Gate reboot officially announced. New graphic and story edition. So there's actually a trailer for this. I haven't seen this yet. I just saw it on YouTube when I opened it up. What are they rebooting? This cover art is sick. I think this is a reboot of the game, right? It has to be. 2025 release. Remaster? New endings? What does it really mean? Shiyomaru also confirmed today the thematic sequel, Stein's Triple Question Mark, is a completely separate title to this. Yeah. Oh. Was it? I don't recognize the song though. I thought I would have recognized it. Thank you, my dude, Silver, for the 5 months. Much appreciated, my dude. I don't know. Steins Gate reboot feature. Will it say fully animated live 2D assets? Babel of the Grieved Maze integrated. Hide of the Dark Dimension integrated. I don't even know what this shit is. I don't fucking remember, chat. I played Steins Gate like literally like 10 plus years ago. I don't remember this shit. Boomer memory. It was boomer memory. But yeah, I mean, shit, why not? I mean, this would be a... Well, it depends if it releases in English. I suppose it will. This would be a good time to actually play the ending. And Steins Gate was supposed to be the peak of the game. And I agree it is. You know? like at the absolute peak when it goes into a goddamn loop. So I don't know, bro. I'm excited for it. I'm really excited for it. I've played this. Anything else? Persona 3 band cover. I got young people to try Windows XP. Wait, what the? Life ruined. What other stuff is there? Building a tiny office pod under my stairs. 51 minutes? This looks like a horrible idea. Japan's #1 streamer caught unfaithful. All right, show me.
On September 15th, 2024, Junichi Kato, otherwise known as Unko-chan, published a very simple tweet in Japanese that translates to, "I had an affair." It is currently sitting at almost 30 million views and 145,000 likes. This is a scandal that took Japan by storm to the point where even some Western tabloids were also making articles about it. This right here is a ranking of streamer stats on all platforms: Twitch, YouTube, and Kick. You might have not known this, but Unko-chan is actually right here.
That's really impressive. I didn't know. I mean, I don't know who Mixie Gaming is, to be honest, but if you ignore the Dota 2 TI ones, right, this is pretty damn impressive. This is more than stable Ronaldo.
Rank 4. He is the 4th streamer globally with the most amount of hours watched.
That's pretty impressive.
This doesn't just make him the most watched Japanese streamer, but it also makes him a big contender globally. He is massive. So what the hell happened? Why did he cheat? How was an adult actress involved in all this? And why the hell did he get rewarded for committing adultery? Well, as you can imagine...
Only thing I've heard is XUC fighting with his ex for the 6th time. Yeah, she's suing him for like DV and like more like mental damages and shit like that. She lost all the previous court cases from what I understand.
There's a lot to go over.
She's crazy.
So let's talk about this mess.
All right.
Junichi Kaito is massive in Japan. He started his online presence in 2009 when he uploaded a Let's Play, and ever since then he has grown to be a powerhouse.
Site.
His YouTube channel has over 1 million subscribers, and his Twitch channel has over 1 million followers.
I have like
also
5.
able to get over 10,000 concurrent viewers on a regular stream, which is extremely impressive on Twitch. The appeal of Unko-chan doesn't just lie in himself, it also lies in his community. His community has been the source of many Japanese online memes. This is somewhat similar to someone like Forsen. You don't really watch Forsen for him, you watch him for
you just open up Forsen chat and that's the only thing you care about, the shitstorm that's chat.
Chat and the memes that they create. Similar to something like Forsen CD in relation to Dr. Disrespect's cheating. That's usually the main appeal. The point of me saying all this is to make you understand that Junichi Kato is not just big in numbers, but he's also big in terms of his influence on Japanese online culture. But one thing you should know about him is that he is a big baseball fan. Here's a fun fact for you actually, according to Statista. The percentage of baseball fans in Japan is actually higher than the percentage of fans of baseball in the United States. Now, one famous Japanese player who actually plays in the MLB is Shohei Ohtani. He had made his MLB debut with the Los Angeles Angels, and in December of 2023 was actually signed with the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Japanese love to support their own players abroad, especially when it comes to baseball, and they don't hide their enthusiasm.
A lot of it is more like even Japanese baseballers see the big games are in the US, right? And it's kind of like a dream to go from it to go from Japan to the US.
And was one of those fans. He had flown out to Los Angeles just to support Shohei Ohtani and the Dodgers. And his fans, of course, were on board. He posted many pictures from the game showing Shohei Ohtani, showing himself sitting there watching the pitches, but he had posted this picture right here with the caption, "The cheerful Dodgers fan in the seat behind me took a photo of me and Ohtani together. Thank you, God." But here's the thing. Remember how I said that it was totally normal for Japanese people to fly out and support their own Japanese players?
Not normal to have
the
this
MLB?
seat.
Yeah, well, those same Japanese people noticed something very interesting. Unko-chan was in the front row just like he had posted, but he was sitting next to a woman who was not his wife, and
Who's
they had
this hot
clearly
babe?
arrived there together. Now you might be wondering, why is that so significant? Well, the thing is, all of Unko Chan's fans know exactly how his wife looks like because she was a part of his biggest stream of all time, his marriage. Back in March 2022, Unko Chan had live streamed his entire wedding. This is already something fairly rare to find with Western streamers, but it's even crazier to do in Japan. Weddings are often seen as sacred, as very private, and there he was streaming it for the entire world on multiple platforms. But what's even crazier is that live stream that lasted a few hours had generated over $1.8 million in chat donations. Yes, you heard that right. 7 figures.
Got all the
he beat the
marriage
record
money
at
back.
the time for the most donations ever.
Reception sorted.
So it's only natural that people knew that he was married and how his wife looked like. People knew very well that the woman sitting next to him was not his.
Popular streamer Unko-chan and AV actress Ai Hongo. Unko-chan, who is married, recently posted a photo of himself watching an Ohtani and Dodgers game, sparking intrigue when fans spotted him sitting next to Ai Hongo at a stadium. Those unfamiliar with Unko-chan, who was born in 1985, well-known Japanese streamer, blah, blah, blah. AV actress under S1 achieved remarkable. She's an AV actress. I mean, look, if you're gonna cheat, right? At least cheat with an adult video actress. That is, you know, I think at least he aimed higher, right? I'm kind of impressed.
Wife, but that didn't mean that they didn't know who she was. It was none other than Ai Hongo, one of the most popular adult actresses in Japan.
Maybe they're just friends.
She ranked 3rd in all adult video sales back in 2021. Something absolutely massive for a country that has so many adult actresses. But that's not all. She also has a massive social media presence with almost 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, 100,000 followers on Twitch, 793,000 followers on Instagram.
Where can I follow her? Oh my god, look at those milkers.
And 1.4 million followers on Twitter.
Holy.
This made people start to ask a lot of questions. Why is a married man hanging out with an adult actress half his age in a foreign country watching a baseball game? When Unko
Maybe they're
Chan
good
came
friends,
back to
man.
Japan and streamed for the first time since he had went to the Dodgers game, he had admitted on the 13th of September that yes, he had watched a game with Ai Hongo. But then he specifically made sure to deny the affair, saying that we didn't really have any relations, any sex. He was hoping to brush it off, and it was working until Ai Hongo on the 15th in the early morning Japanese time released this video on her YouTube channel titled about this incident, currently sitting at 1.3 million views. So the video is in Japanese. It doesn't really have any closed captions, but I do have a translated transcript. I'm going to read it for you while I let the video play in the background.
Oh god.
This is Hongo Ai. I apologize sincerely to anyone who was affected by these recent events. I don't know if anyone is.
I like how Japanese like apology videos are always like minimal makeup and just like very serious tone, as serious as humanly possible.
What I have to say here, but I want to give my version of what happened ever since this happened. I was torn on whether I should speak out or quietly disappear. After talking to the people around me, I've decided that it would be better not to run away, as it would only worsen the situation. I will now discuss what happened. This may take some time, but to avoid any misunderstandings, I will read a statement that I wrote in advance. The first time I met Karo was at the end of 2022. I knew he was married, and I was hesitant to meet him, but he invited me to go drinking with a group of people. Since there would be other people present, I decided to go meet him. After that, we met in groups multiple times, and he told me that he had already divorced his wife but had not gone public with that information yet. He said that he was single and invited me to go out with him alone. I didn't believe him at first, but after asking several more times, he insisted that he had already gotten a divorce. After several more meetings, we began dating. At first, I was concerned
to the Champions Club.
Would lead to rumors of him committing adultery, but eventually we began dating anyway. He told me that he could not yet announce our relationship because he had not gone public with his divorce, but promised me that he would do so soon. He never ended up announcing it though. However, his house didn't have any of his wife's things, and whenever I contacted him, there was no sign that his wife was around. I believed that he had truly gotten divorced and believed that he would eventually find the time to announce our relationship. However, time after time, he would make an excuse for not announcing our relationship, such as a big event.
Oh,
It
saucy.
kept getting extended. Due to this, we broke up several times, but then we would meet and restart our relationship.
Why does she keep going back to him?
I began to suffer mentally from our relationship and had nobody else to call on for support. I became dependent on him. Again,
Oh
we
my
repeatedly
God.
broke up and got back together. I wanted to date him again on the condition of him going public with his divorce and our relationship. He promised me again and did the same thing and didn't go public with it due to it not being the right time with his work. At that time, I felt that it would be impossible to date him and stopped seeing him. I dated another person I met through a friend at that time. I was still, however, dependent on Kato and depressed. So when he contacted me, I met him despite still being in a relationship with that new person. 2 weeks ago, when suffering from depression, I began to suffer greatly and even wanted to engage in self-harm at times. I knew it was wrong,
bad.
but when I felt that way, I relied on Kato again.
Oh,
I consulted with
no.
other people and came to the conclusion that staying inside and suffering alone would only make things worse. And so I decided to try and go out.
I don't disagree, but not to a manipulative boyfriend, right?
I accepted an invitation from Kato and saw him again. I apologized to the man I was dating. So for the most part, this is what she had to
He's
say.
got
She
main
wanted to
character
apologize to her
syndrome.
audience, but also more importantly, to the man that she was dating while she cheated with Unko-chan.
Oh,
It was a very
God.
weird relationship where she was very dependent on him and he knew that. It lasted for several years, and this was her
Years.
admitting it for the first time to the public. On the same day that Ihongo came out with her statement, Unko-chan went live on his Twitch channel and peaked at 295,000 viewers, breaking every single Japanese record on Twitch, to finally admit that yes, it had happened and that he was sorry. But here's the thing.
Welcome to
Usually
the
you would expect
Champions
that if something like
Club.
this came out in
Force
Japan,
and CD.
someone's life would be over, their career ruined. But to everyone's surprise, including Unko-chan, the complete opposite had happened. Watch. This is a clip from that stream. Look at all the gifted subs he was getting. Look at this. The more he
Welcome
would
to the
talk,
Champions
the more people
Club.
would support him. He was shocked. He was sitting here saying, wait, I think you guys don't really understand what's going on. Let me explain again. I'm a bad person. I'm trash. I am a trash person. But still, people would keep donating and throwing money at him.
What?
He also admitted that he had done this to multiple women, not just Ihongo, which made things way worse. When asked, why did you cheat? He answered, because I wanted to. And when asked,
True
why did you
MC
get married?
syndrome.
He answered, because I wanted to. At one point, he looked relieved and
This
said,
world
I feel like
blows.
a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. In response to the question, would you have continued if you hadn't been found out? He admitted, I probably would have continued.
This guy's a
On
fucking
the other hand, in
scumbag.
response to the question, shouldn't you have admitted it from the beginning? He responded in what could be interpreted as a defensive response, saying, it would have been troublesome if I admitted it from the beginning. Of course, I would have lied. When asked why he ended up in an affair, he took responsibility for it, saying, it's my fault. I was the one who made the move, and posted a message on his streaming screen saying, I deceived a woman and had an affair. Regarding his future, he said, I'm going to keep doing what I love.
What,
He had
cheating
made
on his wife?
Thousands of dollars that stream and continued to make even more. The stream happened at around a month ago, and since then he has more than doubled his entire sub count. He's sitting at 23,603 subs. He's a partnered streamer and most likely has 70% revenue share. That means he's making around $82,610 just for this last
Welcome
month.
to
This
the
was such a crazy
Champions
story that it
Club.
prompted Western journalists to pick it up and talk about it. How the hell did this guy just commit adultery in one of the worst ways possible, lying and manipulating multiple women, and ended up only getting rewarded for it, even himself being shocked? It wasn't making any sense, but it was happening right before our very eyes. After the stream, he also tweeted out that he will not commit adultery again, so please don't bring this up in online news, and I will not make any further comments about the victim. I am sorry and I regret it. Hoping to end it
Is
here,
his wife gonna
to stop
divorce
his fans
him?
from talking about it, and to stop them from harassing Ihongo or anyone else involved, including his wife that he hasn't divorced yet, that he's in the process of divorcing.
Oh,
A few
okay.
days later, Ihongo tweeted out this statement saying that she apologizes. She offers her deepest apologies to all of her fans who always supported her and to all those involved for the inconvenience caused. After discussing with the agency, it has been decided that I will be taking a break from activities for a while.
Men crying. No more iHongo adult videos. What the fuck?
I deeply regret
because she was getting plowed outside of work and during work.
And concern I have caused to those involved in this incident. I am truly sorry. And ever since then, she has not been online in any capacity, whether it be on social media
That's September
or her work.
2024.
Actually, I can only confirm that she hasn't been on social media. I'm not sure if she's done any adult videos recently. I haven't really checked. So
you should, sir.
Don't really
do
take
your
my
homework
word for it, but I'm just assuming here. Unko-chan has continued doing what he loves, which is making content and even collabing with other big Japanese YouTubers in videos titled "I was seriously furious when Kato Junichi came to my house the day after his huge affair," making lighthearted fun of the situation, not taking it seriously, and of course, being rewarded for it. A very interesting and continuing trend with this whole scandal.
Diary.
Honestly, as far as Japanese scandals go, this one is definitely very unique. This guy isn't just a huge streamer, he's regarded as a minor celebrity in Japan. The live stream of his marriage peaked at 420,000 viewers. It had many celebrities attending. He shows up on Japanese TV, he shows up at big events. And usually when someone of this caliber commits like the smallest
you're completely fucked. In Japan, especially.
They have to profusely apologize, hoping to keep their career. But we had the complete opposite here. He was being rewarded for being a terrible person. Imagine coming out and saying, hey, yeah, I cheated on my wife, I manipulated multiple women, I treated them terribly, I made them rely on me, and I caused them significant mental damage, and then looking at your screen and seeing people throwing money at you in droves. It doesn't make sense at all, but that's exactly what happened.
Maybe that's what I need to do,
He's
chat.
now doing great in terms of view count, great in terms
Maybe
of
that's why
count,
my view count is not high. I just need to be a dirtbag.
When it comes to iHongo and her relationship that was ruined because she cheated on her boyfriend with Unko-chan, when it comes to everyone else that was involved in this, I can't really say that they're as happy as him right now. Some real lives were ruined here, and I can only hope that they can all find peace.
You will need to find a Jav girlfriend.
Roller coaster.
I do have an honest question, okay? Would you date a Jav girlfriend? Like, would you date a Jav actress as a girlfriend? Knowing that she's always been plowed by schlongs bigger than you? And multiple at the same time? Why would you? I mean, being blunt, I don't ever know what I mean. Why would you do that? Why not? I don't know. I guess a part of it, like, not wanting your girlfriend to be the fap material of every other person online. I mean, isn't that kind of like the same argument as OnlyFans, although albeit a bit more professional? I don't know, man. I feel like it's kind of fucked up. I mean, I kind of get it for him finding a Jav actress as like his side chick, you know, because he was gonna pump and dump anyway to begin with, right? That like he was otherwise he would never have gotten married in the first place, you know. But yeah, I don't know if I can date a Jav girlfriend. But anyway, I can be a piece of shit to everyone in chat. Okay, I can stop being nice, and I can give you all the worst advice in the world, and then tell you that you're rubbish and you're trash, and you should cheat more. Yep, cock. But yeah, to be honest, I think like it is true that a lot of people take streamers as paragons, as saints, because they obviously make a lot of money and they're entertaining and they're popular. I'm gonna be honest, a lot of them are really scumbags, to be honest. Like, just like proper scumbags like this. I mean, what else can you do about it? I don't know if I've got anything else though. Anything else interesting? By the way, chat, you suck. I hate you all. There you go. You feel better now? Wait, what is that? I take back anything I've ever said about JRPG protagonists as actually exists. I don't even think he's that good looking. I don't know how he pulls it off. I guess fame just takes you a long way, you know? Fame and confidence. It takes you a really, really far way. This is China. Bankruptcy to billions, the rebirth of Nokia. There's no way Nokia is back. Nokia's done. Right, I'm going with this. I want to see if Nokia's back, and then we'll call it a day for videos.
In 2008, Nokia generated over $76 billion in revenue. They were at the top of the mobile market.
They were?
But
everyone had a Nokia.
After a few short years, they exited after losing all their market share. It seemed like bankruptcy was inevitable as executives fled, but one man could not accept this. This is the story of how a single man destroyed Nokia and how another gave them a new life in the modern smartphone era.
Anyone own a Nokia phone still?
Nokia was once the
I still got a Nokia phone in my cupboard.
Industry, and as mobile phones grew, so did they.
N95.
The revenue in 1996 was $7.5 billion, but by 2008, it was 10 times that. Yet, all of this was about to change. Around the time of Nokia's dominance, something happened. In 2007, a single press conference was being held, which would change the world. One which sealed Nokia's fate. People watched as they saw the phone market change overnight. Compared to Nokia's classic brick phones, the iPhone was different. It was sleek, had a fast, seamless user experience, and most of all, introduced the revolutionary touchscreen. No one had seen anything like it.
This guy's shocked.
Smartphones were still new. Nokia was in the perfect position to adapt and retaliate. Though that's not how things played out. Leaked internal reports show that Nokia wasn't intimidated by Apple's new product. Instead, they mocked it.
Nokia thought iPhone would be a flop because it couldn't hold up to a 5-foot drop test? Okay, Nokia. As if anyone really gave a shit about this to begin with except for you. Who the fuck would toss their phones about like this? I mean, the Nokia is a brick, but you don't really treat it like a brick.
Their engineers claimed the iPhone was expensive to manufacture. They also pointed out that it didn't come close to passing their drop test.
Basic drop test.
Nokia believed the iPhone was a niche product, but really, they were just seeing what they wanted to see. Nokia was the most reliable phone on the market, yes.
Goddamn 8 times mega zoom.
Soon that bulky durability was seen less of a selling point, and more of a drawback. People now wanted something sleek with a touchscreen. Smartphones had changed the industry forever. Nokia watched consumers flock to these new smartphones, and soon, competitors began offering their own smartphones.
The problem is that it hasn't really changed
HTC
since
and Google
2008.
released the T-Mobile G1 with the first version of the Android operating
Android
system.
Pog?
By this point, Nokia's executives finally realized they had underestimated the iPhone. So, how did they respond?
Nokia this week announced its long-awaited iPhone killer.
Wait, I have this phone!
The N97 was Nokia's response. It had a 5-megapixel camera, a slide-out keyboard, twice the...
I gotta show you my N97.